Welcome back everybody to a new video. The video you've all been waiting for. How on earth did I look before cancer? Obviously a couple of days ago I went a little bit viral by my video on the Truly channel, so I just want to say welcome to all of the new subscribers to my channel. I figured as a welcomes gift I would make this video to tell you guys exactly how I used to look. This is also something that all of my longtime subscribers have been requesting, and I just never really felt in the mood to talk about that. I don't like looking back, I don't like looking to the past, but why not, let's have some fun. The way I'm gonna do it is, I'm just gonna show you guys random pictures of me before my cancer, and just basically tell you guys where I was at in my life, why on earth I felt like I wanted to rock that certain hairstyle, and let's have a little bit of fun. Now I know right here you saw the thumbnail. Oh my god, did you really used to have black hair? Is that a Photoshop picture? It's not Photoshop, it's real, so let's have a look at it, man. I was about 17 years old. I was in my last year of high school, and for some reason I got it into my head that I wanted to have black hair, and I'm talking pitch black, as you can tell. So yeah, I don't know what to say. That right there is a young, not so wounded Viking with his hair dyed black, and I remember rocking that hairstyle for a good couple of months. The issue was that my eyebrows were still blonde, and pretty soon my hair started growing, so I would have this black hair with all of these blonde hairs underneath it. So it started looking really bad, really quick, but as teenagers do, they persist in their ignorance. They want to keep it going, so yeah, that's what I did. That only happened once and never again. Next up, me in college with my friends. That was not my girlfriend. She's actually one of my very dear friends that also stood by me during my cancer. That's why it's okay to show this picture. Shout out to Hilke, that's her in the picture. So as you could tell, I'm looking very young, looking very different. I think that t-shirt must have been a small. I remember this whole notion of, obviously I wasn't that big, but I wanted to look big. So I quickly figured out that if I wore clothes that were actually too small, they would make me look big because they would be very tight. So that was definitely the me rocking way too tight clothing era. And I'm sad to say that also went on for a couple of years. But all in all, I feel like I look pretty good in this picture. That was in a club in Antwerp called Red and Blue, a notorious nightclub. So if you're ever in the Belgian area in Antwerp, go check out Red and Blue. That's where we used to go every Tuesday. Now let's take it all the way back to probably the youngest picture in here. This was me at my first party, so I must have been like 16 years old. You could see me being militant, rocking the hell shirt, shell is hell, fighting for human rights already back then. Mixing it with the Hawaii shirt, I was fresh to death, or so I believe. So that's a 16-year-old me. Can you still recognize me from that picture? I don't know. Obviously I know because it's me, but I would love to know what you guys think about that. So comment below. Just a quick bonus picture of that same party. I just, couldn't resist showing you guys this picture as well. This was about 3 in the morning. I know because at 3 in the morning they would turn on the lights, and the lights were clearly on. The people have already left the party. So this was me at the end of my first party. And yeah, I think the picture speaks for itself. This picture was taken on a high school excursion trip to Italy. I was 17 years old. That's a classmate of mine. And as you could tell, I had a very narrow face. I was very skinny. Fast forward to my early college days. You can see by my face, I'm starting to get a little bit bigger. I started hitting the gym a couple of years prior to that. So you could see my jaw getting bigger, my whole face, getting a little bit bigger. This picture is very dear to me because the friend that's standing next to me in that picture, that was one of my best friends all throughout college. His name is Dietze. And he actually committed suicide a couple of years after college. So I still think of him very often, and I'll never forget him. So going down memory lane and looking at these old pictures, there were definitely a few moments where I got a little bit emotional, and this was one of them, man. If you're watching this, man, I miss you. I know you're proud of what I'm doing, and so I just want you to know that I'll never forget you. Now here we have a picture of me in a black tank top, still college days. It's important for me to show you guys this picture because there always has seemed to be this notion out there that I didn't start hitting the gym until after my cancer, which would really make it something like me trying to compensate for my face, and that is not the case. I was working out far way before I ever got sick, so I was already quite big, as you can tell in the picture. Obviously, I wasn't in the shape that I am in now. I wasn't as conditioned. All I cared about was mass, having big arms, having a big upper body. And yeah, that's the way I used to look all throughout my early 20s, I would say. Now here we have a picture where I actually tried to dabble with the longer hair. That's me and my sister. And I just love sharing this with you guys because I want you guys to be able to see where I came from conditioning wise. Like, this is me already having hit the gym for, many years. Like, that's the way I used to look. And to my standards, honestly, I think I look pretty bad. Like, I don't have any definition. I just got big arms and big shoulders. My chest is underdeveloped. I've got no abs whatsoever. And you can tell that I just used to go into the gym every day and just hit arms and chest, and that was it. I just find it very important for me to point out to you guys that I went through all of those phases as well. I went through the skinny fat phase. I went through the, I look big with a t-shirt on, but once you take your t-shirt off, I'm actually just looking like semi-overweight. I didn't turn into this physique overnight. It didn't come until way later down the line when I finally figured out that less is more. The less you weigh, the lower your fat percentage is, the bigger you look, the more defined your muscles will look. So I used to look like this for a very big portion of my life. Another early college day picture. I just wanted to share this picture to show you guys my haircut. That used to be an actual thing in Belgium where you would just kind of like put all this gel grease into your hair. You would put the hairs in the front like this, and then you would try to make this pyramid over here. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I do remember rocking that haircut for quite some time. As I was going through my old pictures, one thing really stood out. I look like such a douche in so many of these pictures. Just look at me. Like I got my brother-in-law, by the neck, and I'm just like I look like a bully. In a lot of these pictures, man, I just look like an asshole. I promise you, I was never a bully. I was many things. I was a class clown. I had a big mouth, but I was never a bully. But I was a quite arrogant young man, as you can clearly see in this picture. Now, before I head into the post-college period, I want to show you guys one more high school picture of me. This is me in the final year of high school. Yeah, I look like a baby. I was a baby. That's how I used to look at this time. I was still very skinny, absolute ectomorph. And it's after this period of time that I really started committing to the gym and I started transforming myself. So let's get to the next phase. Here we have me in my final year of college. I was actually finishing my bachelor's degree in Sweden, in Sundsvall. And yeah, again, looking douchey, looking like a bully, putting my friend under the old arm and posing for the camera. At this point, I started figuring out that matching colors was something that I really like to do, so that's why I look like I'm dressed for the carnival. Another last year of college picture. Here you can really tell I've been bulking up. You might find it hard to believe, but I was weighing 102 kilograms in this picture. I was all about mass. I was massive. For reference, right now I am weighing about 85 kgs. That's a 17 kilogram difference. So yeah, back then I was just a big ball of flesh. The black tank top is actually being very kind to me, as it is hiding my enormous beer gut. At this period of my life, I was drinking all the time. And obviously, if you drink a lot of alcohol, you get fat. Like right now, I barely drink just for the sheer fact that I don't like how caloric dense it is. But here you could tell I was just like, mwah. Another picture taken of my time in Sweden. I actually feel like this is my best angle. I'm pretty happy with the way I look there. Probably the flash is looking me way more tan than I actually was. But that was a time of my life where I started getting a lot more confident with girls. The first 3 years of me being in college, I was absolutely terrible with girls. I had zero self-confidence, and I just didn't know, what to do, how to approach it. And when I finally went on this exchange student program, which is called Erasmus in Europe, to Sweden, that's when I really took that next step and came into my own. So that picture right there, that is the first couple of years of me feeling like a little playboy and starting to feel myself. So I think you can tell by my energy also in that picture that I kind of like took that next step in terms of self-confidence and self-development. Mind you, I was already 21 years of age here. Last picture of the Sweden era. I just wanted to share this because I feel like the message on that t-shirt is so incredibly symbolic to me. Whatever it takes. Even back then, that was it. That was my slogan. That was my motto. Like, it's always been whatever it takes, way before I ever got sick. And it has stuck with me to this day. Whatever it takes, no matter what happens, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get back up. That has always been my mentality. That is not something that I learned because of my cancer. It's something that was always there. Jumping into the first Barcelona era, this is when I first moved to Barcelona to go get a master's degree. I still had that ugly ass red shirt, and again you can tell that I took another step in terms of like me looking like an actual man instead of a boy. That's me at Barceloneta Beach with a cerveza, a beer vendor. In this picture I feel like I look very healthy, my skin is glowing, I look good, and I would say this is right before I started developing some really bad eating habits. Speaking of those bad eating habits, I feel like this picture speaks volumes. You can really tell that at this point, I took it too far. I was even starting to develop a double chin, no pun intended. And you could just tell that I was becoming overweight. Like I had too much fat, my head was just like a big blob. And I just had this super American dad type cartoonish chin. Like that wasn't the tumor or anything like that. That was just me eating greasy food and drinking alcohol all the time. So my face just blew up. Another picture of me in the Barcelona era, all white. I remember I went to a party where the dress code was all white. Clearly in this picture, I was feeling depressed and I was probably texting somebody while singing my anthem at the time, Drake Martin's Room. I'm just saying you can do better. Tell me, have you heard that lately? Yeah, that was me sending late night texts. Gonna come true, what you doing? And I would say there is a very strong possibility that I ended up with nothing that night. And now for the grand finale, the last pictures taken of me mere days before my jaw amputation. When I found out that I was gonna have my jaw amputated, I actually booked a flight to Barcelona the same day. I remember the surgery being in about 10 days, and I flew to Barcelona 2 days later. I was just like, look, man, if I'm gonna have to go through with this surgery, I'm gonna be out for a long time. It was actually May at the time. May is a beautiful time in Barcelona already, weather-wise and all those type of things. So I went to Barcelona to spend a good 4 days before having to fly back and get my jaw cut off. That was my mentality. That was my mindset. I immediately was like, all right, cool. Let's make the best of it. So I'm going to, get my jaw cut off, whatever. We'll figure that out later. Right now, I'm going to fly to Barcelona and have some fun before I turn into, a freak. So here you can already clearly see the tumor has gotten huge. There's a big patch on it. But yeah, you can tell the jaw is just completely swollen up. There was pus coming out of the tumor. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was an absolute horrible sight to see. So I'm very happy that the patch is on it. I'm not trying to give you guys no nightmares. The very last and final picture before I wrap up this video. I actually don't like making videos like this because I feel like I'm talking about nothing, just my looks, but because you guys requested it so many times, that's why I felt like, I would do you guys a favor. So this is the last picture of me before getting my jaw amputation. As you could tell, I had already converted from trying to be a big blob of meat and trying to be as huge as I possibly could to actually looking physically aesthetic. I was already incorporating a bunch of cardio in my workouts back then. I was already eating a lot more clean, so my physique was already a lot better. Still not comparable to today. Obviously, I'm a lot better now, but yeah, that's the last picture of me that was taken, having a toast on the beach with my dear friend Alejandro. One thing that does strike me from these pictures is that up until the last minute, I kept a positive attitude. Like, I probably didn't realize what was coming. I probably didn't understand what I was getting myself into and how the next 8 years of my life would be looking. Otherwise, I wouldn't be chilling on the beach heading into the desert like, hey, I'm just gonna, go get this jaw amputation. I'll be right back. But in a way, I wouldn't change a thing, and I'm very happy it went down the way it did. So there you have it. Now you know what I used to look like before my jaw amputation. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will never be talking about this ever again. It's not my purpose. It's not my goal for this channel. But I did figure that you would find this entertaining and it would solve a lot of questions that you guys might have. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. It's your boy Wounded Viking. Check it out. Do you need help making better decisions in your life? Are you lacking self-confidence and motivation to get things done? Hire me today and get a direct daily line of communication with me through video chat and audio messages. I operate on a week-to-week basis, so no long-term investment is required. 7 straight days of Viking advice will get you right on track. Email me at lorenz.dries@gmail.com and change your reality. I'm ready whenever you are. See you soon.